Yep, and then just put it online. See if I can get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, which won't do a damn thing other than I'll have 1,000 subscribers on YouTube and nothing else.
Yeah, I hear they just changed the way monetization works.
I'm not anywhere close. Based on their numbers, I have to increase the number of people by 20x. In terms of number of views by 20x. So I'm nowhere near ready. But I've also got, what I do is I've got links from my blog into it. So, in fact, I don't know, have you seen this, David? So, first of all, I'm having a stretch class Saturday, September 5th. And it's it's a little bit after the class. No extra cost. It's just, I'm going to hip stretching. And this goes to my website. If you play the first video, it's like two classes 2 weeks ago, just the whole thing recorded. And it's broken up into individual exercises. So if you want, yeah, you can have that or scan it. Yeah, either way. Oh my gosh, it's 74 in here because of it's actually cold. Okay, so here's what happened with my AC. One of the systems was a little bit low. Okay, great. Two, on that same system, I put in a new filter. The new filter was clogged somehow. So I had a bad new filter. So that's the top one. On the bottom one, I had an electrostatic, old electrostatic cleaner that I replaced and just put with just a filter. But there were still two old metal filters that were there that I should have removed, and they just got dirty.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So basically, I mean, and it all happened about the same time. Morning, everybody.
Good morning. Good morning.
I'm appreciating the unexpected rain.
Wow. We needed it.
Well, we needed it just also to turn the temperature down just a touch. Okay, so I'm going to give you some new information that I just learned. So I've already mentioned that humming increases nitric oxide in the nose, I think. So when you hum, it increases nitric oxide in the sinuses. You inhale, that's good for your health. Really good for your health. Two things that augment that. Raw nuts, leafy green vegetables. The leafy green vegetables give you the raw materials, and the raw nuts give you the fats and other stuff. So the combination is a real powerhouse. But there's one caveat. If you use mouthwash, you kill the bacteria in your mouth that has a substantial addition to your ability to produce nitric oxide. So the quadfecta is shaking and humming. Humming is really the thing, but shaking just moves everything faster. Eating raw nuts, leafy green vegetables, and don't use Listerine or other mouthwash products. Nothing wrong with Listerine except that it kills the bacteria. It does exactly what it's supposed to do, but the bacteria you're killing are good for you. So, and again, why is nitric oxide important? Vascular health. It really helps. It helps energy flow. It helps your heart system. Dilates your, yeah, exactly. Yep. Yeah, it's really, really good for you. And in fact, if I'm not mistaken, aren't nitric oxide pills things people with heart issues have often taken? I don't know about that. Yeah. That's probably not the same thing. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. You can.
The explosive nitroglycerin.
Oh, nitroglycerin. That's it. I wonder what the combination is. I'll have to ask. AI. All right. Let's work on Wuji for just a little bit here, because we're going to be using it throughout. So feet parallel, knees slightly bent. Now you want to grip with your toes. When you grip with your big toe, okay, so real quick, your fascial matrix is just a big old web. All right. I talk about parts of it like the deep front line. Those things don't exist. They're just a name, like, your arm is part of your body. Right, you can say that it's an arm and it has a function, but your body kind of, if you lose your arms, your body is very different. So the fascial matrix, the whole body, when you grip with your toes, especially your middle toes and your big toe and emphasize the balls of your feet, but really all 9 yang points. When you do that, you're locking down 1/2 of the web that controls your body. When you push your head up, now the whole thing is like just a mildly tight rubber band. So we're basically making our body into a tight rubber band when we do this. And then a little trick here is, so feet gripping, knees bent, sacrum down towards your heels. Now, if you can relax your whole hip, that's great, but pushing your sacrum down, front still up. Now you've got everything sort of stretched out, and then take your hands a little bit inward. That softens the inside, and then take your sternum, and if you can, try to push your sternum and your hips down. Really what we're doing is we're engaging our fascial matrix, top to bottom. We're extending our spine and then resting our spine like the pole of a broomstick into a broom head. And then once you sort of feel something, let go, just relax into that. So again, one more time, and then we'll get into motion. Feet parallel, feet gripping, knees bent. Feet are about hip width apart. Sacrum down, or the whole hips, your hips all the way down. Head up, the back third, the crown of the head, all right, pushing up. Now everything's stretched. And then you can do things like, for example, you can open your chest up and really feel it all over, stretch those intercostal muscles, or you can collapse in. And in fact, let's just do this. This is an old exercise. So express, yang, and then yin. And as you do this, as you feel yourself moving, do you feel any part of your body? Do you feel the sort of the integration of your body, like the sort of that whole internal mesh connected? And even if you don't, I don't know about you, but this feels really good. Okay, so now let's go ahead and take your feet a little bit wider, and let's work on again, foot sensing. Why is foot sensing important? Put your weight over your right leg and feel the weight. Really move your whole torso right over that foot. And now go to the left. More pressure. And I'm doing this with my toes and my feet. I'm gripping with my feet as I do it. Now try to really push with the left foot until your body goes to that. Now push. So you're actually pushing with the one foot to go the other direction. This is you practicing starting the motion in your feet. Okay, so now, as you push with the left, twist and push your left hand out. And now push with the right, and the right goes to the left. Push. And push. And then push to your left hand to the right, and then drop down slowly. And push to the other direction, and drop down slowly. All right, now let's jump right into pushing palms. So for pushing palms, here's how I want us to work on it. Imagine, actually don't imagine, do. Grip your feet, bend your knees, push your sacrum down, push your head up, bring your hands right to the top of your rib cage. Now, as you're holding your hands, right before you push your hands, do that same thing. So feet, knees, sacrum, head, and then push. Pause. Grip with your feet, bend your knees, tuck your tailbone, push your head up, and then pull. Hey, Lynn. Same thing. Feet, knees. Tuck, push your head up. All right, now, hands in front of your solar plexus. we're going to take the right hand and push it up and the left hand down. You're stretching your shoulders diagonally. Okay, now in this round, I want you to really connect the left foot to the right hand. So push that left foot and the right hand comes up. Push the right foot and the left hand comes up. Hey, Liz. Sorry about that. It is rare for my wife to call me, so she forgot what day it was. All right, so I didn't do that. I'm going to just do one on each side. Sorry. I don't know about you, but my rib cage gets tight. And anything I can do to stretch my rib cage, my intercostal muscles, really helps. Okay, now, hands in front again. Feet, knees, tuck your hips, fontanelle up. And then I'm going to try to push with my right foot as my left foot as my right hand comes out, and push with my right foot. So I'm using my feet to twist my hips. So feet lead to hips, lead to torso, lead to hand expression. Now you can also extend this if you want. And one thing that does change, if you turn your head, that's one thing. That's a perfectly fine thing to do. Or you can keep your head forward. And each one of those things is incorporating that whole fascial matrix differently. And so try things out and see how it feels. Because you have knots in different places than I have knots. Like, for example, under my left big toe, I had 2 days ago, the sock was crinkling a little bit, and my shoe was pushing into that crease. And so I've got a bruised toe, basically, a bruised crease of my toe. So I've got to be careful how I'm pushing. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to twist our waist. Feet a little bit wider than hip, knees bent. For this one, you really want to try to not twist your knees too much, so emphasize the outside of your feet. Your hands above your head, and then twist in place. If any of you listen to audiobooks, I'm listening to this book called Togetherness. And Togetherness by Rowan someone. But it talks about symbiosis, and it just describes, the forest and various intricate relationships between fungi and plants and animals and such. And it's really, really quite a beautiful book, honestly. It's very descriptive, and I highly recommend it. The reason I mention that is we're symbiotic, right? We have our gut biome. We have, like, for example, the nuts and the plants. If we eat that, it helps with nitric oxide. We're really connected to things. And that's a really, really excellent combination of very, very, very intricate stories. All right, now, we're going to start kicking. Let's go ahead and do the right foot first. So take your weight to your right so you can move your left foot. Take your weight to your left, and then touch, and then heel. Touch, and then heel. And if you want to lift, that's fine. That's optional. Okay, now, while your weight's still on your left, rotate out your right foot. I'm going to step over a little bit here. I'm going to come back a little bit. And then move your weight over to your right foot, and then touch, and then heel. And touch, heel. Toes, heel, and then swing if you'd like. I find it helps if you keep your knee bent on the supporting leg. Really try to keep your butt pushing down towards your heel. That locks in your leg and it gives you slightly better stability. Keeps your torso in place over that foot. Or you fall. Either way. Okay, let's go back to the left foot. And honestly, I haven't figured out a good way to shift the weight here. So I've got my weight on my back leg, but I'm going to come back on the heel, and then I'm going to keep my torso up or down, but bring your leg up and your hand down to your shin. Okay, now switch to the other side. So come on back on the right heel, and then again, bring the leg to the hand and the hand down to the leg, keeping your torso upright. Do not bend forward. I don't want you to do that, because if you bend forward like that, you lose your balance, right? So you want to keep your torso up and down. Okay, time for everyone's favorite, sweeping leg. I'm going to work on the footwork on this one, okay? So everyone face forward. Put your weight on your right leg, step behind. Shift to your left leg, sweep around. Shift to your right leg, step. Shift, step. So what we're doing is, between every step, I'm moving my torso over the leg that just moved. So now I'm going to weights over the left, weights over the left, weights over the right. So 1, 2, weights here, 3, weights now on the back leg. 1, weight goes here. 2, weight goes here. 3, weight goes here to the left. 1, weight. 2, shift the weight. 3, shift the weight. 1, shift the weight. 2, shift the weight. 3, shift the weight. Now keep doing that. So step, shift, step, shift, step, shift, step, shift. And also get the dogs. Okay, now let's do the arms. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1 shift weight, 2 shift weight, 3 shift weight. 1 shift weight, 2 shift weight, 3 shift weight. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then at your own pace for just a second. Is that getting better for anybody? You've just started, so you've got a long time. What do you think about that? Better, worse?
For me, the big thing is not looking at anybody else.
Yeah.
If I look at somebody else, I get confused.
So I would suggest you don't close your eyes to not see anybody else, but you might consider that if you had like a ballet bar to move side to side. That would actually work pretty well, wouldn't it? Just have your hands on it. Okay.
Looks like you have a picture of Einstein and a dog.
Oh yeah. The face.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's got a face on her hind. I sort of think it looks like there's a picture of Edgar Allan Poe where he has his hair at a certain angle, except that it's white instead of black. But yeah. Okay, now we're going to do hooking leg. Okay, so put your weight on your right leg so you can adjust your left foot. Now put your weight over your left foot, step up. And then slide the ball of your foot out and then up. Working on the outside of our hips there, the adductors. Sorry, I said that wrong. Abductors. Okay, so my weight's now on my left, so I'm going to take my weight over to my right, Since I set down 45 degrees, step up and slide and hook. Okay, now, tell me about, okay, I'm just checking that out. We're going to work on Golden Leopard reveals its claws. Now, we're doing something like this, but let's work on the footwork. Okay, so I'm going to start by moving my right leg out. So I'm going to first shift my weight to my left, lift my arms and my leg together, step out, and then my weight's balanced and I stretch. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over back to the left, then I'm going to lift and step down. Now I'm going to shift to the right, lift, step out, balance my weight. I'm going to come over to the right, lift, step down. I'm going to go to the left, lift, out, come back to the left, lift. So notice, I'm not trying to lift my leg when my legs are spread apart. In fact, if I try to, I can't do it. I have to shift my weight to be able to lift on that leg. So notice I'm shifting side to side to do this. Does it make it easier? All right, we're going to do something similar, but now we're going to push mountains. So shift my weight to the left, lift, step, push down my torso, down the leg, and then I'm going to pull my leg back up. Notice I'm shifting my weight and then I'm lifting. I'm all the way on the left, I'm going to come all the way to the right, lift, step, weight goes down the torso onto that foot, and then I'm going to come back, and then when my weight's over my right, I'm going to pull that leg up, set that leg down, all the way on my right, all the way on my left, lift, down, come back, lift. If you do this slowly over time, you're slowly training your body to shift the weight before moving your feet. You're slowing down a little bit, and in doing that, notice it opens up a lot of potential. If you can delay moving the foot you're about to move to get yourself to shift your weight, notice you have a lot more time to do whatever. But if you don't shift your weight, then gravity, physics, is going to make a decision for you. So you can decide to move and then lift, or you can attempt to lift before moving, and gravity will decide for you. Okay, now we're going to straighten our waist. For this one, let's go a little bit wider, maybe 1.5, not quite a horse rider stance. Knees bent, sacrum down, fontanelle up. Now what I want you to do is, as you're pulling in, I'm actually taking and trying to open my hips like so. I'm trying to open up my hip flexors. I'm basically thrusting my hips forward without moving them very much. And so I'm pulling in and opening up. And if you want to imagine bringing a ball of energy into your lower dantian, great. Then I'm going to take my hands and sort of help a little bit. Head up, reach out, and then come on in. So opening up the hip flexors. Open up your hip flexors as you do that. Okay, now, with the feet where they're at, arms out, drop your body first, and then the hands follow. So let the legs lead the arms. Now, I'm also doing a little bit of that thing we just did on the last one. I'm sort of thrusting my hips forward. I'm trying to get my body to go in a sine wave. And what I'm doing is I'm taking advantage of my fascia. My fascia is rubber-like. In fact, just stretching your arm increases potential energy because you pull your skin back and then it repels back. So we're trying to use that natural rubber band-like energy in our body to move our body. All right, now let's get our shoulders nicely stretched. Arms up. Let's start to the left this time. So left becomes an L. And what I'm doing here is I'm stretching and really pinching my shoulders and then let go. So I'm stretching my chest and pinching my shoulders. Up. And then down. Down to the left. Again, stretch that chest and pinch those shoulders. Up to the right. Up to the left. Down to the right. Around a tree. And around a tree. And then clear your aura. The weak aura formed by your heart. All right. For this next one, we're going to tighten our body as we straighten it and then let go. We're actually doing squeeze and release, or PNF, proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation. There's a fancy word you can use. So tighten your whole body, open everything up, pull everything in, but keep your face relaxed, and then let go. You don't have to pull too tight. 30%, 40%. And one more. When you do that and you let go quickly, your muscles tend to come back calmer. So if you just tighten everything up and let go, that can really help release tension. Now, if you hold your breath and do that, that can also be a problematic. So, you want to breathe while doing some of that. Though I guess when I'm tightening, I'm and then letting go of everything, even my diaphragm and so on. All right, above the head, take your feet out a little bit, and then come down the middle and lower a little bit, and then sweep off to the right. I'm pushing. When I sweep off to the right, I'm using my left foot to push in. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to push with my right foot into the left foot. So I'm coming down the middle, down the middle, down the middle. Push with the left foot into the right. Down, 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 down. Push. So when I'm doing this, if I'm going to the right, my right foot is passive, but my left foot is active. Hands together. If you can bring your elbows together, that's fine. Even if you can't, you're still pulling your shoulders apart. We've been pinching our shoulders. This actually is now pulling our shoulders apart. Hi, Penny. Hello. All right. Now, we're going to strike out. Let's really work on, again, starting with the foot. So my weight's now on my left side. I'm going to push with my foot up my leg, and I'm going to cross, and then finally the arm comes out. Now my weight's over my right leg, so I'm going to push with my right leg, twist, 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 arm comes out. Weight's over the left leg, push with my left into my right, twist the torso, arm comes out. Now notice, I'm keeping a bend in my elbow at the end. I'm not hyperextending my elbow. Okay, now come back feet a little bit closer. For this last one, in Tombo's 18, I'm going to bring my weight over to my left leg, lift. I'm going to start this I should have started a little bit differently, but this will work. Okay, hands together, come up. Okay, now notice I'm going to come back to my left leg. Then I can lift it. Then I'm going to shift to the right leg. Hands come down the back, step out. Hands touch together. My weight's balanced. Going up. Now I'm going to push back into my right leg. Then I can lift that leg, turn my body, set the foot down, shift my weight into the left, come down the back, push my butt, push my leg out. Hands come together like I'm grabbing some kind of stem. Pull that stem up. Push back into my left leg. Lift the right leg. So notice I'm going to shift my weight back to the right. Weight comes balanced. Up. Weight comes back to the right. Weight goes to the left. Okay, now, neck isometrics. Here we go. I don't have my timer, it's out in the car, so I'll just do this by head. So I'm going to describe this really quick, and then we'll just do it without description. When I'm doing this, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to do an active but not moving Wuji. So I'm actually going to be gripping my feet and opening my hips up, and then pushing, pushing, and pushing. So really try to build this up and then do the push. And if I'm pushing on the right, I'm going to open up my left. If I'm pushing on the left, I'm going to open my right. Okay, so here we go. So start with the feet, knees, sacrum, push the head up, and then put your right hand there, and here we go. And release. Okay, again, feet, knees, sacrum, fontanelle, and then here we go. And release. Okay, same thing. I'm going to use, you can do this. I find it easier to do this, but you do you. So feet, knees, sacrum, push the head up, and here we go. Again, really try to open those hip flexors. And release. Last one, my favorite one. Here we go. And release. Okay, now let's loosen that neck up. So take your eyes, look to the right, and then have your head follow. Now look to the left. I want your eyes to lead your head. I was just holding my shoulders, so try to relax your shoulders down. And now back to the middle, look up. And then down. And now, circles. Slow, big circles. If you find a particularly tight spot, go slower. And if you hear Rice Krispies in your neck, You are not alone. If you hear major construction, you are also not alone. Okay, now let's just do just a few seconds of shaking, maybe a minute of shaking, just light shaking. This is a really good thing. After you've done a bunch of stuff, you've been pressing your body, you've been pushing your collagen, you've been changing the hydration. This is going to sort of help encourage balancing things out. Okay, let's take a short break and then we'll actually do the form, okay?